Happiness. Creating your own happiness is the third step to becoming someone others see as important. Key. Because people find you more attractive when you're truly happy. It's not about pretending to be happy. It's about finding out what makes you happy and accepting it. A wise man from the past named Marcus Aurelius said that happiness comes from within, and that the quality of your thoughts determines your life's happiness. This means that your happiness is up to you and not dependent on other people. It depends on your thoughts and life outlook. When you think positive thoughts and enjoy what you do, you give off an air of confidence and satisfaction that makes other people want to be around you. Seneca talked about how important it is to be happy with yourself and how real happiness comes from within, not from outside events. He said to find real happiness in living in the present and not thinking too much about the future. This means to enjoy each moment of life as it comes rather than always looking for happiness elsewhere. Epictetus, another thinker, said we should focus on what we can control and not look for good in other people or things. Instead, he said, we should look for good in ourselves. This tells us that our happiness shouldn't depend on other people, but on our own actions, values, and self-care. In real life, this means following your passions, spending time with supportive people, and taking care of your health. It's about making your own life and being happy with it. When you're happy with yourself and your life, you're not looking for someone to complete you. Instead, you're sharing your fulfilled self with them. People will want to be around you because of this trait, not because they need to make you happy, but because they're drawn to your happiness in general. To be happy on your own, you need to have a positive attitude. Live in the present and find joy on your own. This inner joy will shine out, making you someone others want to be around and naturally making you a priority in their lives. 4. Know your worth and encourage others to contribute. The fourth rule for being someone people want to be around is to know your worth and ask others to give their time and effort to you. Think of yourself as a rare gem that can't be found without hard work. Stoic thinkers talked about this idea a lot. Epictetus, for example, reminded us that nothing great happens all of a sudden. He showed us that deep connections are made over time by spending time together and making an effort. When you let others invest in you, they start to see how special you are and how much value you add to their lives. Marcus Aurelius talked about how important it is to know our own worth, saying that happiness and self-respect come from inside and affect how others see and value us. He said that a happy life is built on very little and everything that comes from within. Being sure of your own worth makes others more likely to see and accept it. Seneca said that the most important thing is to value yourself. He also said that our fears are more numerous in our imaginations than in reality, which means that the worry that other people won't see our worth is often unfounded. By valuing yourself, you make others value you more. In real life, this rule means developing yourself so that you live in a way that shows how valuable you are. Taking care of yourself and making a life that other people want to live. 5. Make your own path. Doing your best to enjoy your life is the fifth key to making people see you as important. This means doing what you love, following your dreams, and being yourself. Making your own good life is important. Don't wait for other people to make you happy. A very smart person from the past named Marcus Aurelius said, when you're happy with yourself, you're happy with everyone else. This idea fits nicely here. People will want to be with you because you're living a life you love. Another wise person told us it's important to be happy on our own, saying something like, if you want to be loved, start by loving yourself. This means you shouldn't wait for other people to make you happy. He said that what upsets us is not what happens to us, but how we think about it. If you want to have your own life, this means that you shouldn't worry too much about what other people think of you and should instead focus on making your life great for you. Having your own life means doing things that make you happy, like pursuing a hobby, moving up in your career, or spending time with friends and family who make you feel good. It means setting goals and achieving them. When you have a life full of things you love, people want to be a part of it because they see you as someone who makes their lives better, not someone who always needs help or approval. In short, making your own way means take care of yourself first. The sixth key to being important to others is to take care of yourself. This rule tells us that we should care for and respect ourselves. Meeting your own needs isn't selfish, it's something you need to do. When you do this, you show that you believe in yourself and value yourself, which makes others want to be around you. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius talked about how to gain inner strength. He said, "Your mind is yours to control, not the things that happen around you. Understand this and you'll find real strength." This tells us to focus on ourselves and what we need, reminding us that we can't control other people, but we can control how we treat ourselves. Seneca, another wise thinker, said it's very important to depend on ourselves and not rely too much on others. Also, Epictetus, who had a lot of good ideas, said we should focus on what we can control, like how we act or react to things. He said we can't choose what happens to us, but we can choose how we react, which means it's up to us to be happy and not wait for other people to make us happy. In real life, putting your needs first means make sure you're not always the last thing people think about. Making sure you come first means knowing you're worth it and taking care of yourself inside and out. When you do this, you not only improve your own life, but you also become someone others want to be close to because you show them you value yourself. Treat your time like gold. Realizing how valuable your time and attention are is the 7th step to being someone others see as important. This means being aware that giving someone your time and attention is like giving them a valuable gift. It shows that you have your own hobbies, work, and personal things going on. Giving people special time is what you do. Marcus Aurelius said we shouldn't live like we have 1,000 years to do everything. He said, "Don't live like you have 1,000 years." This reminds us that our time is valuable and that we should be selective about how we spend it. Being selective with your time shows others that it's not something they can expect whenever they want. This is what Seneca said about, "We don't have a short life, we just waste a lot of it." He's telling us to be smart about how we spend our time. By not being available all the time, you show that your time is valuable, and this helps others see its value too. Epictetus, who believed in focusing on what we can control, said that we should spend our time on things that make our lives better. When it comes to your time, this means doing things you care about and spending time with people who value and respect your time. In real life, valuing your time means you don't have to say yes to everything. It means making your own plans and choosing how to spend your time wisely. It means finding a good balance between doing things for you and things for other people. Figuring out how much you're worth and showing it by how you spend your time is a big part of valuing your time. You should be where it matters most, but you should also make time for yourself. By doing this, you make your presence something people look forward to, which makes you a priority in their lives. Finding a good middle ground when starting conversations or making plans is the 8th step to becoming someone that other people see as important. It's about not always texting or planning things before the other person does. When you wait for them to reach out, it shows that you have your own life and value their time. It also shows that they value yours and want to spend time with you. Marcus Aurelius once said that life is more like wrestling than just dancing. This means that when we're in a relationship, we need to be flexible and not always take the lead. There are times when we need to let the other person come to us. It's all about making sure that both people are putting in equal effort. It was important to be able to support yourself and not depend on other people for your happiness. By not always being the first to message, you're telling them you're fine on your own and giving them a chance to miss you and show they care. Epictetus stressed self-discipline and careful thought. We should listen more and talk less because we only have 2 ears and 1 mouth. This ties in with our concept, which stresses how important it is to listen and allow for quiet moments instead of always talking or making plans. When we reach out and when we step back, it helps us find a balance. To do this, you should think about how often you're the one who contacts them first. It's okay to start a chat, but you should also give them a chance to do it. You should make sure that both people in the relationship are equally invested in it. In other words, finding a balance in who starts the conversation is about respecting your own time and letting the other person show that they respect you too. This makes sure that the relationship works well for both of you, making it more satisfying and helping you feel more important to each other. Remember how you feel. Keeping a good handle on how you feel is the 9th tip for being important to someone. This means not letting your feelings run wild and take over, but instead dealing with them in a way that keeps your honor and respects both sides. Marcus Aurelius, an ancient philosopher who was very smart, said that the best way to deal with bad behavior is not to react badly yourself. To keep your emotions in check, this means not reacting strongly on the spot but thinking it through calmly first. This keeps us from getting too caught up or falling too hard too quickly. Another thinker from the past, Seneca, said, "It's important not to let our emotions get the best of us." He said it's pointless to worry before there's a reason for it. This tells us not to let our fears or, when we act hastily because of our feelings, it hurts our relationships. Let things happen naturally without stepping in too soon. Epictetus also talked about how important it is to control our reactions. He said that what matters is not what happens to you, but how you deal with it. When he talked about keeping our feelings in check, he said that it meant realizing that we can't control everything in our relationships, but we can control how we react to it. This doesn't mean being distant, but rather taking things slowly and seeing how they play out in real life. This rule means being careful about how fast and deep you go into something. How good your feelings to keep your emotions in check. You need to be smart with your relationships. Don't rush into strong emotional bonds. Instead, let them grow slowly. This careful approach makes you a more stable and desirable partner, and it helps you be a priority to someone. 10. Know when to leave. 10th, if you want people to see you as important, you have to be brave enough to leave when things aren't going well. Being aware of your worth and leaving a bad situation behind are important parts of this. It's a big sign that you value yourself, and it's extremely important that other people do too. Marcus Aurelius talked a lot about being strong inside and respecting yourself. He said something like, "Not what happens around you, but your mind." Understand this, and you'll find your real strength. The rule says that this is fine. It means having the guts to leave something bad comes from realizing that you can't change how other people treat you, but you can change what you do about it. Seneca, another philosopher, talked about how important it is to value ourselves and not settle for less than we deserve. He said that life is like a story. Its value isn't in how long it lasts, but in how good it is. Similarly, when it comes to spending time with people, it's better to have good people in our lives than just anyone to avoid being alone. Epictetus also thought we should be free to make our own decisions and take responsibility for our actions. He said that people who learn this kind of freedom are truly free. Freedom means leaving a bad situation because you respect yourself. As a student here, you should know how much you're worth and be in relationships that treat you with respect and kindness. Being ready to walk away means you set clear limits in your relationships and stick to them. It means recognizing when things aren't fair or even for both sides and being brave enough to leave instead of giving up. It's hard, but it shows how much you value yourself. Being ready to leave means you know and stand up for your worth and aren't afraid to leave situations that don't treat you with the respect you deserve. This rule is very important because it tells everyone, including you, that you deserve to be treated well and that you are worth a lot. It says that you will not settle for less and expect more. 11. Along with the 10 rules we've already talked about, another important thing to do to become unforgettable is to always be interested in and excited to learn. This means seeing every day as a chance to learn something new or get better at something you already know. Imagine that you are a garden. Cared for makes you grow. You grow by learning new things and trying them out. This could mean starting a new hobby, reading books, or even listening to other people's stories and experiences. When you're always growing, people see you as someone who is alive and changing, which makes them want to spend time with you and learn more about you. Your willingness to grow adds layers to your personality, making you more interesting and attractive to others. It's like adding new colors to your tapestry, making your life's picture even more fascinating. 12. Practice being kind and understanding. Kindness and empathy are two important traits to have if you want to be someone others look up to. Being kind doesn't mean you have to save everyone, but it does mean doing little things that show you care, like listening when someone needs to talk, helping them out without being asked, or just smiling at them. Remember one important thing. Your worth doesn't depend on what other people think of you. It depends on how strongly you stand by your beliefs and respect yourself. Picture yourself as a beautiful work of art, made up of your hopes, experiences, and knowledge, and never lose sight of that. See these 12 rules not just as tips but as strong reminders of what a great person you are. Every step you take to value yourself shows the world how much you're worth. Thanks for watching today. Keep doing well, grow, and remember that you are always the main character in your own life story. See you in the next movie.